Hey everyone, welcome to the episode of That's So Funny. Episode number, what are we at? Where are we? Hold on. Okay, I fade that out. 732. Yeah, no, thank you Patreon members. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, sharing. It's fun. I like doing stuff. I feel real greasy today. I don't know what it is. If I feel extra greasy. Probably gotta take a shower. Well, I'll probably save it for tomorrow. It's already sundown. I hate to feel like I'm in the shower when it's dark outside. It's uncomfortable. And then the shower I'm in is typically fluctuating from hot to cold. So it's even more uncomfortable, like some sort of torture shit. Like a light form of torture, especially in my sensory bullshit that it just comes with the anxiety. I'm more sensitive to bullshit. It's annoying. It's frustrating, is what it is. I don't want your pity. I don't deserve it. I don't deserve your pity. I just want a better version of The Office. No, I don't really care about The Office. The Office is overrated. But yeah, no, I'm just here chilling. I ordered some micro, like, was it THC to try out in micro doses to see if that'll help with anxiety. Because I remember when I did try puffing some of that fucking vape, it fucked me up. Dude, my brain was going away from my body, where it was terrible. I was just an ugly feeling. And the ketamine, starting out on a low dose, it almost kind of did the same, but it kind of evened out, and it made me feel pretty good, and it's helping me sleep really well, where I feel like I slept. It's a good feeling. It's a very comfortable feeling. Feel comfortably numb, or whatever that Pink Floyd song is, right? With the Wizard of Oz. But let's check out the news here. There's a lot of news I can get to. Man, where do we start? Let's see here. Mr. Beast and Amazon are being sued by contestants on his upcoming Beast Game series for failure to prevent sexual harassment, failure to pay overtime and minimum wage, no meal and rest breaks provided to participants. Quote, several contestants ended up hospitalized. Others reported suffering physical and mental complications while being subjected to chronic mistreatment, degradation, and for the female contestants, hostile working conditions. Um, I don't know. I don't know what this Beast Games entails of. What is he doing? Are they doing challenges? Are they like Legends of the Hidden Temple, where they gotta fucking go through cold ass soaking water and answer Olmec when he asks you a question that he just told the story of? And dude, if you go back and watch those Legends of the Hidden Temple, they're pretty fucking those kids had to be fucking fit to do that shit. And then Global Guts too. That shit was pretty rowdy, but I don't know what he's having people do on these contests. And then I remember reading somewhere that they supplied women, or no, not supply. I don't know if they supplied women, but their women had their underwear drawers, and someone went and raided their underwear drawers, and their underwear was gone, and so they didn't have any underwear. And I was like, I'm all for an old school panty raid, from fucking Revenge of the Nerds, but not in a closed set where you already have issues with your camp about fucking being a child lover and all that shit like that, and you're doing shit like this. I don't know. You really got to be squeaky clean, bro. I don't know if it's even going to be worth it after it's all said and done and produced and created. Are you going to be proud of this content? Is it going to outweigh all the sins that you've done to yourself, brother? But you got your fucking lunchable thing coming out that's like lunchable, but it's not. But it's probably going to be more expensive. But you're going to put a Mr. Beast toy inside of it, and it's going to track your age and how much fucking fun dip your body makes, or whatever, the adrenochrome, right? But whatever, that's Mr. Beast. We can move on to the next piece of news. Mark Cuban wants to buy Twitter. Yeah, I guess that's news. I don't know. I mean, he had his chance, right? Elon Musk was kind of like, I don't want to buy it. I do. I don't. Oh man, I don't. I think I'm gonna like get out of it by taking this L and paying this fine, and then ended up buying it. And look at what happened. Like, yeah, we can't use the word cis, but pretty much every other word is cool. So, what the hell, I mean, I don't give a fuck. I've never used the word cis or cisgender or whatever the fuck that. Like, if that's, I don't know who that's offending. Is that offending to straight people? Is that offending to trans people? Is that offending to Elon Musk? I don't know what it entails. I get the whole idea of like shadow banning certain things, like when you say faggot and all the other bad words. But of course, it just depends on what fucking how big your account is and how much of a reach it is, and if Elon just likes you. So I can understand the favoritism, the nepotism, and then just to be funny. Why not? I'll, I'll say retarded. It's just a funny word to say. I'm retarded. Um, Next year on the news, Jimmy Carter is set to appear on Talk to with Haley Welch. I don't even know, bro. Like, I still thought Jimmy Carter was dead. Like, I don't even know if he's really like sentient to be like on a hour-long podcast talking to an attractive girl who's like, claim to fame is like being promiscuous. Not that she's been like a dirty girl afterwards, but the whole point of her popularity came from like being promiscuous. So it's just kind of funny how that snowballed into that. Like, it's not like he's talking to that motherfucker right there is not real. He's not talking to that chick. I feel like he could talk a lot of weirder shit with her. But um no, I don't know. I'm sure this will be a nice southern conversation. They both seem like people from the South who like can relate to each other. And I'm sure she's had grandpas and papas or whatever like him that just go hunting and fucking want to have children and just like smoke deer meat or jerky or whatever. So, kudos to him for still being alive. Go President Carter, right? Once you're president, you're always a president, right? Next year on the news, Earth will temporarily have a mini moon for 2 months. On September 29th, an asteroid known as a mini moon is expected to make a single orbit around Earth and leave on November 25th. I wonder, like, if women are gonna blame this extra mini moon on like their moods, like, oh my god, the mini moon has me in retrograde, and it just my period is flowing in the reverse direction. No, I don't know. I don't know much about space. It sounds kind of scary to have an extra moon. That's no moon. I think that's from Star Wars, right? I don't know. I don't fucking know Star Wars. I've seen the first one. That's it. Didn't really care for it. I'm more of a Star Trek dude. If I had to pick out of the two, because you have to pick out of the two, obviously. It's all tribal, right? But I mean, that's cool to have two moons for a little while, and then like I don't know, maybe like shoot a fucking rocket at it or something, and maybe it's got like I don't know Xeon or Zion or some weird fucking pronouns that are like elements, zinc, xeon, zion, zonan, platinum. I don't know. Maybe they got shit on there we could use. I don't know. Whatever. I don't fucking know. I'm just here fucking trying to fill the day with shit. Who cares of another moon? I mean, you can make fun that it's like Lizzo because she's fat, and that would be, I guess, a good enough joke. Whatever. Let's do the Lizzo joke thing and say I said that without me having to say it, right? Move on to more news. The Passion of the Christ 2 will begin filming in early 2025. Jim Caviezel will return as Jesus. And I haven't seen the first Passion of the Christ. I know a little bit about the Bible because I have been not only circumcised, but I have had my communion. I have had my confirmation. I am like a card carrying member of the Catholic Church, right? Even though I don't like you know, like s- like throw it out everywhere, like, oh, check this shit out, you know. But I do know a little bit about Jesus, but Jesus, I do know a little bit about Jesus, and yeah, I'm pretty sure he this is where he rose from the dead. I think that's where they left off. That they had like you know, fucking put him on the cross and all that, died for our sins, put him in like a rock grave, and then he like rose from the dead. And yeah, pretty nice cliffhanger if you ask me. I'm not sure if what he does later on in part two, Passion of the Christ 2, if it's, you know, like, does he go searching for his his father? I don't remember like the plot to the sequel. You know what I mean? I don't remember what happened. I just know he rises from the dead. That's all I know. You know, I don't know if this is where he starts doing more miracles, or he's got to avenge like other fucking. He's got to go after fucking Judas. Judas, 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 Judas. But we'll see. That's fun. Jim Caviezel's been pretty like crazy lately with the whole Sound of Freedom and child trafficking bullshit. So I think he's ready for this role. He's like prepared. He's prepped. He's ready to go like full Bible, full right white wing, right wing for this role. So I can't wait, even though I haven't seen the first one. But I've seen Apocalypto, and I feel like it's the same thing. It's just the Jesus version of like Aztecs and Mexicans, you know? Essentially the same thing. It's just for white people. Lastly, here on the news, Nintendo and the Power World Company have filed a lawsuit. Nintendo and the Pokemon Company have filed a lawsuit against the developer of Power World. The lawsuit seeks an injunction against infringement and compensation for damages on the grounds that Power World infringes multiple patent rights. You know, I remember when Power World came out. It's on Game Pass, and in game preview on Xbox. I've yet to try it. Everyone was saying it was like Pokemon with guns. Um, and it has a pretty decent player base if I remember correctly, and stayed, you know, relatively popular and was a pretty big thing when it came out. Didn't hear anything from Pokemon. Everyone was saying like, "Oh, this is a ripoff. This is a ripoff," and I follow one of the developers, and he's like, "Dude, it's like inspired by Pokemon, but it doesn't fucking like steal, you know, straight from Pokemon. What the fuck?" And I guess now that it's like actually become successful of a franchise, to where it's actually got a big concurrent player base and it's making, you know, I guess making money. I don't know, at least having players. Then here's Pokemon like, nah, we don't want that shit. Like y'all fucking, and it's not even suing them over like copyright, suing them over like infringing on patents, you know, general patents, no, multiple patent rights, you know. So maybe they can't like evolve, or they can't be eggs. I don't know. I don't really know much of these details other than uh that's Nintendo for you. They want to fucking protect their uh IPs, and I don't blame them. But at the same time, like this game, it could be, obviously it's more of a ode and an inspiration to the Pokemon game, but then you could also just say it's a parody. Like, come on, like, just, you know, look at Alex Jones did some set that shit that was just like Contra, but he was calling it Alex Jones like Infowars. So like, give it a break, man. Like, y'all are already making millions upon millions and hand and fist over and over with Pokemon. Let someone else cash in on the idea, you know, because there's a lot of money to go around with shit like that. But I don't know, guys. What do you think about Mr. Beast and Amazon and him and all the sexual harassment, blah blah blah? What do you think about Mark Cuban wanting to buy Twitter? Jimmy Carter to be on Talk to the second mini moon we're having. Passion of the Christ 2. We're ready for that, right? We're pumped. And Pokemon. Does anyone really care? Does anyone want to leave comments, or does anyone want to like and subscribe? Who cares, right? I do, but just a little bit, just enough to keep going. Um, I'm trying to distract you while I find the music here. Is that's all funny, right, guys? Yeah. No, thank you for listening to the podcast. That's all funny. Available anywhere podcasts are available. Just search That's All Funny. I got a podcast with my buddy Gabe called That's All Kayfabe. We're talking about wrestling. Just search That's All Kayfabe. Show with the wonderful mint salad called Tits and Areolas with mint salad, where we talk about a movie we watch, play a game. We just did Eraserhead. So I'm very relative to that because I can get a man who um just likes to have dirt in his house and not worry about his crying fucking sperm looking baby. Um, if you want to help support the podcast, check out the Patreon, patreon.com/Lorenzo Ariola. Got donation links there to the side if you want to donate and give to the podcast. Everything goes straight to it. It helps out. Everything helps out. I appreciate it. If you want any merch, hit me up on Twitter or Instagram at Lorenzo Ariola on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to commission some art from a great artist, check out at Retro Horror Inc. on Twitter and Instagram. That's at Retro Horror Inc. Does all art for the show. Great artists for art of graphic art. I want to thank y'all for listening. Thank you to my Patreon subscribers for hanging in there with everything like that. You get the show early, ad free, blah blah blah. And we'll see y'all tomorrow. I don't know. Take care. Like, subscribe, share, listen, everything. Take care. Bye.